I don't.
Enjoy the quiet time over there.
Good, how you doing?
You take your, that way, we have to play. Probably wouldn't be good if you started doing guys in charter time. Yeah. meeting of the Livingston City Commission is called to order. We have roll call, please. Present. Here. Here. Very much. We'll now do a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Will you please rise for the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. All right, the first order of business tonight are consent items. There are 3 items for approval tonight. Is there a motion from the commission on the consent item?
Yeah, make sure to approve the consent item.
Oh, you do? Okay. So you want to?
I didn't know.
I should have asked. You want to look at that? Okay. So if you, no, you send your motion then? And you resend your second? Okay. So, do I want to make a motion for the other 2? Is there a second? Okay, so motion by Copeland, second by Reddington for consent, approval of consent items B and C. Roll call? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Consent item A.
Make sure that I understand the memorandum and just question a few of the parts of it that are we canceling the grant so that we cannot receive any money from Northwestern University? Do you understand me?
Well, I've been involved with it, not directly, but obviously but it's my understanding that this is a memorandum to cancel the bid of justice hospital. It's my understanding that we yes, grant for this project, but we have to contract with that.
Well, I think, and that's where I was unsure, but then it states the city will return the grant award to Northwestern Energy and the project will not be completed. That's why I don't want to approve it, because I think potentially canceling a grant that could save us money in the long run worries me. So I was hoping that if this, because of that sentence, I'm worried that we're canceling it and not going to use the money somehow if we can, just because we have to cancel the contract. Well, and I want to today. I was reading the paper, actually just before I came here, and I know this grant is, I don't know if anyone here or knows what I'm talking about, but a grant to help us upgrade our public works facilities to have better lighting. And then I was reading the paper today in the Gazette that we have saved by upgrading and by being very energy efficient as the school district. It's a huge school district, obviously. But in 1 month alone, they saved 55,640. They have a really efficient computer program that monitors it, yes, and they So they've been upgrading and including seniors in high school, which is old, and we have trouble with that. But I just would hate for us to, because we don't have money in the short term to give away money that would give us money. In other words, and this also stated that the school system since 2007 has saved $4 million because of this upgrade. 900,000 just within or within the last couple of years. So I just want to make sure that it's possible to think long term for how we can save money in energy. That you can.
I might ask, I think through the administration, put all the documents, we know that we're going to do some paperwork, so we're going to do some
Would you like to make a motion to table this until a future meeting?
I'll make a motion to table consent item E.
Second. Motion by Bojang, second by Friedman. To table consent item A to a future meeting. Roll call? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Motion passes. We do not have any proclamations tonight, and we do have two roll out on back for scheduled public comments. Number 4, concerning the creation of a preservation district around certain public land near Northern Light subdivision.
Thank you for putting this on. I'll speak to this issue, of course, has surfaced. The area had surfaced previously. Kind of got some of us thinking about what we would really like to see in the undeveloped land between the southern cemetery boundary and the north boundary of the Jack Weimer Park. Currently, of course, it really only serves the purpose of storing surplus soil and the Bozeman Trail network. And it is a natural area. It includes the creek, the watershed, which is quite important to this city. The city spent a lot of money in working on the lower reaches of it. So what happens in that area has future impact in those lower reaches. So we kind of like to preserve its status as a natural area. Over and above that, of course, we have school district use. That is an issue that could be worked on with the curriculum specialist to increase the amount of student use in the area. And I know previously the issue of snakes was prevalent. But there's different timing. The schools would not necessarily be using that area at the same time the snakes are out. So that's kind of a normal thing. There's other youth groups that could use this. 4-H, FFA, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Some of these groups really like to do community projects to better community, and I think that area is a prime area that something could be worked out. Over and above this, the city acquired, I understand, through a park dedication the additional land, 20+ acres to the west, to complete the Bozeman Trail District. I understand from Jim Woodhull that he hasn't put through the annexation, but it is part of the property that the city owns. And because of the creek flowing through this whole area, should be managed together. And it should be managed in a way that enhances its natural resources. It is not typical parkland. Typical city parkland tends to be that which has been straight down. The soil has been graded off to fit certain contours of a subdivision plan. They don't have creeks in them normally. They don't have wildlife in them normally. Sometimes they'll move in later, but these are ones with types of animals, plant communities, birds, reptiles, the whole gamut that already reside in that area. Because of these unique features, I and some of my neighbors and some other community members would really like to see this rezoned into a preservation district. And a master plan outlining the city's vision for the property to be put together and added to the comprehensive plan. And I think this would give future commissions guidelines as to community needs, community desires. Property can be enhanced by removal of that excess soil, replanting native grasses as opposed to the weeds that are growing in there, all of which are quite noxious. And it would help on the erosion issue, both water and wind erosion, which is tremendous in that area. So those are a couple of things. The community could dream big. You could envision a time when you would want to perhaps put in a nature center, learning areas, meeting rooms, demonstration areas, activities, or I should say 4 seasons worth of activities. It would make a great place to cross-country ski. And I don't think that it's really seen its potential in that area. All sorts of different activities that could occur there, depending on what the community wants. Some members of our community would prefer it to be totally untouched. They wouldn't like the enhancements. But we have other members of the community that need enhancements, such as benches to sit down because they're tired, they're old, they're frail. Some people like to just sit and watch wildlife, birds, and waterfalls, whatever. So these are the kind of things that this master plan could include, plus any kind of budgetary constraints. Always a prime issue in any government situation. And a tentative timetable, because obviously you don't do these kinds of things necessarily all at the same time. So you need to work out plans to schedule to implement phase 1 in this time frame, phase 2, etc. And it can be flexible. I mean, it can be subject to change depending on changing conditions and community needs, etc. So that's kind of basically where we are. We would like the commission to acknowledge that this land is unique in the city. It's not a piece of property every city has. It isn't a resource every city has. So we would like you to put this into the pipeline and rezone into a preservation district. So, I'm open to any questions if you have any.
We're working on, looking at it now, the presentation.
Steve, Jen, do you have any insight on that?
The only place that you utilize this point is the old water. That's like a larger preservation zone.
And I believe the zoning ordinance indicates natural areas of that type of language. See, it's my understanding that the unannexed land to the west with the western portion of the rail connector was received from the developer with a conservation or preservation clause to it. If that's the case, half of that whole area is already in that type of a situation. And as I say, the creek runs through it. It should be managed together.
If we have to pass a zoning code, again, to the zoning commission first, but we make a recommendation to the specifics. Preservation zoning district is basically taking unique piece of property, establish the specific zoning rules that each different application. So that we have its own potentially setbacks or building restrictions or different possible uses or very few uses, something like this. But if each time you apply it, it's a term. So the planning board would give you those parameters that they see necessary for this property after public hearing. And it becomes the So we're going to, like I said, we're going to apply it to one of the locations, and the primary reason there is because it was a very appropriate used parkway. The building is up for reuse, so we use this district to restrict those possible uses so as to not convert the parkway.
Right, have you, as a group, discussed how to fund the improvements, or in the letter, it seemed like you wanted a quota city and to be city run and to be city funded, but any other ideas or anything?
We did not discuss specific ideas for funding, mainly because the first issue is to get it rezoned. If you can't get it rezoned, then it's almost up, it could potentially be up for grabs for any use. Although I was born and raised here, I only moved back in 2011. So, and even though I have quite a fair amount of experience in local and with county budgets and local government budgets, every community funds things differently. Now, where I had come from, something of this sort would be taken in and put on the to-do list, not necessarily for outside funding. That doesn't mean that it couldn't happen, I mean, it was something that unit of government funded itself, whether they had the land for it or, you know, whatever. So that's one issue. If the city of Livingston doesn't levy for those sorts of projects, then yeah, funding is something that, well, for one thing, I would be inclined to over all of these potential support groups. People who would use it, because they would be the most inclined to see something happen. So, but my idea, and I think probably the others in that have signed this letter, have all been of the opinion, if you can't get it rezoned, then it's going to be way more difficult to do. Because, like I say, it's essentially up for grabs. You might think that you had something set up and another group would come along and, oh, well, sure, there's enough room. They can build there too. And that's not really the issue that we would like to see happen. No, and I'll tell you why. It's not just the neighbors that use it. There are frequently many cars that park on the west end of the trail connector on Russian Creek Road, and those folks use that. Well, they're not from the neighborhood, and they didn't park out there. They're obviously from the city or from the county. It's public land. They can be from anywhere. So, you know, to me, this is something because it could and should impact the entire community. It shouldn't be just levied against the neighborhood, if that's the way you choose to fund it. That's my own personal opinion. Okay.
Questions, just want to listen clearly about what your intentions are. The commission, if they choose to make a motion to put this on discussion item, we'll keep them in. That's a question of action. Yeah, sorry about that. Did you get that? Yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, thank you very much. We'll put it on future discussion. Gather some more information and get this subject going forward. Very good.
And thank you much for your time.
Thanks for having me. Okay, scheduled public comment, Willie Cole, dog, Scott, issue. The dog and people show.
Thanks for allowing me to come to the read my letters and read the team. I visit their attitude that flies around here is wonderful, and I want them to here. But with regard to dog excrement, there's an issue, problem, not even the health, things affecting your visibility and just how presenting your community. And I think in conversation with a lot of the as with them being a newcomer, I've met a lot of people, and it's a concern of a lot of people. But as it was said to me right before I came here, you're not going to do anything. So is that the attitude that we want to take towards keeping a clean neighborhood and a clean park and preserving our beautiful walkway and our mayor's landing, which is really disgusting. With the rules that are on the book, there should be some type of consequence. And at this time, there is no consequence. I mean, if you have a 55 mile an hour sign and you go 75, you say, oh well. No, you have rules on the book to follow through. How this can be done, I'm not a lawmaker or a officer, but there's got to be ways to be able to punish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all of a sudden say, maybe I'll 55. So we have the signs up, but I don't think there is enough admonishment to say $100 fine if they catch you, or you have to purchase a walking path ticket to be able to allow your dog at the dog park or in the landing. Something that would contribute to the community and the dog owners that are irresponsible to wake them up and say, well, you know, we know who's not picking up. I can tell you, like I said in my letter to the newspaper, it's not. I mean, it's science. It's not brain surgery. But you can tell this is the same dog, same person. And I've seen it. Look, you like the picture. The picture?
Also the one.
Yeah. Just here, there, that was close enough. Perfectly close. Well, yeah. And usually one on a leash, too. Because I'm not moving. But between field 8 and coming around to the band shell, if I counted 80 loads of dogs, that's offensive to me. And these are all shovel worthy. Because, you know, my dog is 7 pounds, and I pick up religiously because I've had 54 dogs in my life, and I just don't understand. It's not like changing the other diapers. So what is it that the commission can do to enlighten the general public as to the consequences of not following the ordinance?
I'll start with part of it is, yes, we do have ordinances. We have a number of ordinances in the city that aren't enforced because we don't have the personnel to enforce them. We have one code, two code enforcement personnel for the entire city. One is being dedicated to parking situation, and the other one is dedicated to animal control. And the animal control is Monday to Friday, where we take the hours. And so anything after hours, before hours, and the weekend, they wouldn't even be in a position to see someone violate the code in that regard. Now, having said that, I'm not saying that, like the friend said, we shouldn't do anything, but it's very difficult to enforce that code. Just like it took us a while to enforce the code to put up signs so that when the street sweeper comes through, cars are moved. So that takes a lot of manpower in order for someone, code enforcement person to follow the street sweeper and take it and violate it. So it does take a lot of time and coordination. I don't know the code enforcement person, so I don't know exactly how they would enforce this code. I'd have to hear from them and how they would pursue the violators in this circumstance. I don't know if there's going to be other commissioners that talk to the code enforcement personnel in this case, or Shannon, who exactly that, but I just don't happened inside about how they pursue violators unless they happen to be there and catch the person in the act. I know that if they see someone walking a dog without a leash, that's fine. And I don't know if they can catch these dogs in the act. They sneaky.
I do. And I, not
I'm
to
surprised
argue,
about it too. Sometimes.
not to argue, but I had a discussion with Judy Lloyd.
Yes, true.
She's disgusted too. She said, I can't tell you how mad it makes me when I see an animal, just running through poop and then the owner walks away. And by the time she can get to it, like you said, it's just a logistics. So, okay, so if you can't physically encounter the violator, is there a way of instilling fear by posting real-time signs? Or, I mean, there's just, to have a sign that says dog action, or picking up action mandatory with a bag, I don't know if that's enough. And I hate to say that people aren't smart enough to read that, but I think the requirement might be enough. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to, it's not the majority of us who take care of our animals because we take care of animals. It's the people who are irresponsible that are causing the problem. So how do you reach them? Like one of the things I have said, Bozeman now has an advertisement of Judy. Have you heard it? I haven't. With regard to the dog speaking about the owner not keeping up and how embarrassing the owner is. I haven't heard it, but that's a public service announcement. So you put something like that in the newspaper as a public service announcement. I'm sure it's definitely like a community or something. Is there something that can be done from an organized standpoint to pretty much educate, people with regard to cleaning up? Because
Now, if we could, I think probably, we won't solve it here tonight.
no, and
But what we could do is, if the commission wants to put this on, just like we did the preservation discussion item, we can discuss it. The city manager is going to have time to pull together the ordinance and what we've done in the past, and the control officer can be present and offer their insight as well, and maybe some suggestions there. I think that's probably the next step we could take in this regard.
that sounds good. At least it's being exposed. Because I think a lot of people just, no, they're not going to do anything about it. So if there's some light shine on it, okay, this is a problem. And the sad part is over by the benches, over by the band shell, there was 3 little kids playing, and in the snow, there's kids everywhere. So it's not only a health issue for my own dog and other dogs, but it's for children and everybody. So, and I did say I would volunteer if there's anything I can do, a poster program or whatever, to get the kids, because if you teach the kids to teach the parents, I think it's a lot easier. To make the kids aware because they are their dogs. And if you train this generation, they need to grow up to be
I'm not gonna be facetious, but I have a dog and I walk him twice a day. I'm my own code enforcement.
good for you. It's the
But this, the speeding, the drinking, or anything else, we're all our own code. This one is the
and that's what I'm saying, is that if
I understand exactly what you're talking about, because I'm every day I see it. But, the lovely if we could figure out some system.
either that or it's insurance. It's really
And then look at the ordinance or something.
yeah, I think that's part of it. I take insurance. And things that I have that I've been willing to do. Because I'm already taking pictures. Because it's such a beautiful place, but I can help you. Maybe that's my too. Someone to actually walk the beat, so to speak. Especially along the yellow line. Out at near Green, that's really disgusting. And you put it in there. There's, they're too small. People that are involved need to be small. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so, yeah, is there anyone on the commission who makes a motion to put this on the discussion item? So that's another item for discussion at this meeting. And, if the city manager can, in the administration time still, please take the matter.
Sounds good. Feel free to call me.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the photos. Oh, excuse me, thank you very much. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Okay, we have a motion and a second, we have a roll call. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, we have two public hearings tonight. First public hearing is resolution number 4521, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Livingston, Montana, amending the budget for fiscal year 2013-2014 by making revenue adjustments in the amount of $29,815 and appropriation adjustments in the amount of $71,310 and calling for public hearing. First,
So this is the fourth quarter budget amendments that we saw at the second meeting in November. We missed getting it onto the agenda for last time, so that's why you're seeing this fifth meeting. But we have advertised it second time, so it's well noticed. These are all items that are necessary to close out fiscal year 14. And further detail about any individual amendments or how fiscal year 14 ended up is all within the fourth quarter budget review, which is included in your packet. And I'd be happy to discuss any particular questions or amendments. Most of these are really housekeeping issues, so there's not a whole lot of items to discuss, but I'd be happy to discuss if anybody has any questions or concerns. Also, I would add that the final audit for fiscal year 14 will be at the first meeting in January. We'll have our auditors here, and they'll come and tell you how I did. So that'll be for next meeting, and so you'll get final numbers at that point.
this is a public hearing, so is there any, before the commission have any questions for Jeff Tiffany on these issues? Yes, Commissioner Evans? So why don't you, won't leave yet.
I will.
Well, this public hearing is now open. Is there anyone who would like to comment on resolution 4321? Resolution 4521. So we comment on resolution 4521. Last call. Public hearing is now closed. Move on to our second public hearing. Item on the public comment. Oh, yes, we do. Boy, I'm not doing it. I'm putting my mind someplace else tonight. I do apologize. Okay, do we have a motion on resolution 4521?
Make a motion to pass resolution 4521.
Second. Second, is there any discussion? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Motion passes. Resolution number 4523, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Livingston, Montana, of its intent to discontinue and vacate portion of the undeveloped Globe Street right-of-way located adjacent to lots 1 through 6 of Block 36 of the Palace Edition to the City of Livingston. This public hearing is now open.
I thank you, Commissioner, for allowing me to be here today. I'm Ms. Sanchez, representing the Northwest Community for
within the line cleaning department. And basically, I don't want to take up any of your time with giving you information that you've already read, so I'm sure that answer questions, and otherwise let you put on the hot sheet.
Is there any other public comment on resolution 4522? Any other public comment on the proposed meeting on Grove Street? 36. 36 of the policy. Public comment on resolution 4523? Hearing none, public comment is now closed.
Thank you very much for that.
Is there a motion by the commission?
Make a motion to pass, ordinance number 4523.
Resolution? Resolution. Okay. Motion by Friedman, second by Livingston. Commission discussion?
It's so close to me that it's really bad. The fencing. With, I don't know, it, to me, it doesn't feel like it's free.
Any got comment on that? Any sign? Does it have a motion in a second? Roll call? Yes? Yes. Yes. Motion passes. We do have one ordinance tonight. It is ordinance number 2053, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Livingston, Montana, requiring all buildings to comply with the building codes and amending ordinance number 2028 as codified by Chapter 6 of the Livingston Code by adopting by reference to 2012 International Building Code, IBC, to 2012 International Residential Code, IRC, the 2012 International Energy Conservation Code, IECC, and the 2012 International Existing Buildings Code, IEBC. Yeah. What do you have to say about this?
The ordinance only is exactly what exists now, with some changes to it, with code themselves. There are some strike throughs in the existing ordinance, and those are the mechanical code issues that should have been removed approximately 6 years ago. The city was not enforcing the council code, it's still in place, but all the gas inspectors are actually getting about the power. So we have to do it. Glad to answer your question.
One of the, this is, we are calling for a public hearing on this one, we can say that. Final vote. So why don't we start with a motion by the commission and then we can have discussion. A motion by Livingston, second by Whitman. Any commission discussion or questions or presentation of Mr. Freeman? Commissioner Livingston? Is there any public comment on ordinance number 2053? Public comment on ordinance 2053. Petitioner. We know the routine, this for the record.
Patricia Graybosch, 240 Calendar Street, Livingston. I have two questions. One, that doesn't affect grandfathering, in terms of buildings that are already existing.
One of the codes that is being updated is the existing building code, which is the code we use in historic structures or structures with clean building code. And it outlines the exceptions to the building code that are allowed because of their age. I'm not aware of any specific changes that have happened from building code, but that's only been code for the building codes that they do.
Number two, is this include plumbing code? Is that, I know the city does not have a plumbing inspector. And I would love to advocate again for the city getting a plumbing inspector. I think generations down the road will regret the fact that we did not have an existing plumbing inspector now into the future. But this doesn't require any of the.
This is not adopting the plumbing code, it does not certify the inspector.
But how do we become certified inspector?
We have to request it from the state and show them that we have the credentials to do the inspection.
Okay. And as a member of the public, as a person who's encountered this, I would recommend that the commission take a serious look at looking into getting a plumbing inspector and asking that we qualify so that we can hire a plumbing inspector. I'm not for the city spending money, but this is one place where if we hire the plumbing inspector now, then the buildings down the road, the city will have fewer and fewer problems as we proceed. So, it's a question to take a serious look at.
Very much. We could certainly, as a commission, place that on the discussion item in the future. Is there anyone who wants to make that motion? Okay. Is there a second? So, motion by Cleveland, second by Livingston to place as a discussion item on the agenda, the consideration of a plumbing inspector. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion from the commission? Any other public discussion? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, so we're moving on to our resolutions too. Okay, so that was the plumbing and we do have a motion. Let's just put the motion to the ordinance first. We have a motion and a second, so let's take that one. Yes. Yes. What? So, should we take that one again, or leave it on? Yeah. Bruce isn't here, he's not speaking to his mind. Who is that guy? He's supposed to be his last meeting. Okay, moving on to resolution. Okay, move on to resolution. Resolution number 4525, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Livingston, Montana, authorizing city manager to sign agreement with Dow HCM to develop a memorandum of understanding MOU, MRL, for the road grade railroad crossing. Ken? Does anyone have a part in the time of that? You want to just make a quick motion to? Motion by Langston, second by Bolton. Roll call? Yes.
Yes. Support.
Motion passes to table resolution number 4525. Okay, moving on to, joint resolution number 2014-1, a resolution of the city of Livingston, Montana, approving a loan in the amount of $9,625, together with interest thereon at the rate of 1.625 per annum and unpaid balance of the principal until paid from the Aeronautics Division of the Department of Transportation of the State of Montana to the City of Livingston and adding a park for the purpose of snow removal equipment purchase and building construction in which the housing at the Mission Field Airport located in Livingston, Park County, Montana, providing for the repayment of loan and terms thereof. Jesse?
Look at my language. At the December 2nd commission meeting, the commissioners voted to assume the airport loan in the amount of $9,625. This is a 10-year fixed interest rate loan of 1.625%. Adoption of this resolution would then require, at a later date, a budget amendment to make the first payment this year, and integration of the loan into the CIP process we are beginning currently. So, that's all the information I have on it.
We're going to start with the motion for the commission, the motion for joint resolution number 2014-1. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions from the commission?
The annual payment is variable, but it ranges from $1,118 to $978. The principal amount is $962.50.
Any other questions? Discussion from the commission? Is there any public comment on joint resolution number 2014-1? Is the airport board have anything else you want to say? We're here to make sure we pass it. So we do have a motion and a second. We have a roll call, please. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Support.
Motion passes. So we do have one more resolution. It's resolution number 4524, resolution of the City Commission, the City of Livingston, Montana, authorizing the city manager to sign professional engineering service agreement with AdCom Engineering Company for study and analysis of emergency services radio system in the amount of $68,000.
This was a priority item from the Light Management. The RFP process. This was the apparent low bidder. This resolution.
With this, approve the amount, or we just go over it?
Without the budget in front of me, I believe we budgeted $50,000 for this study, but there is sufficient fund balance in the budget in order to do this. I believe it's what we discussed. I've already had that, I think the second bid on this.
We just got a grant for $100,000 for this grant. There's nothing to do
I'm not sure.
I can speak to that. We just received a $100,000 grant for the Next Generation 911 program. That is not this. It's not related to it. No, no. That-
So we have a motion on resolution number 4524.
I'll make a motion to pass the resolution number 4524.
Motion by Freeman, second by Whitman. Additional discussion? Question or clarification? No? Any public comment on resolution 4524? Public comment on resolution 4524? Roll call. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to action items. Action item A, discuss approve deny request for de-annexation of property within the Montague Ellen Place subdivision.
Representatives. Just knowledge that we looked at this around 2006 is when this property was originally annexed. There are two main issues, and I'll let the representatives speak to those. Those will be the circumstances under which the original annexation took place, and current ownership of the property and the lack of public utilities available at this time. So, you have any questions about that answer? Or just the representative tell you so? Okay.
I have a quick question. Do you have a map of this, where this is?
I did not put this in pocket. I knew all I can know is
I don't want to see the place we're talking about, you know,
That's last year at the old highway communication river.
We're talking about that subdivision of there's some streets there that there's nothing called, right? And it's just
Behind that, it's the vacant property behind that to Sackett Park, which is the county park right there at the river. There's no one. Immediately with the city property.
Is there any infrastructure in there at all at this point? So the streets, the sidewalks. We have to not to improve the risk from all that anyway. We think it can manage that, or would that be enough? Probably don't visualize what that would be.
Property was originally annexed, the city of Chicago, go on. It's not, it's taken, it was going. Now we own the property outright, and the property may not be set to the property stay in the city, put it out, and try to control it.
Private utilities meaning private water and sewer, right? Oh, you don't have, how about map that? Because that's usually pretty simple thing. Just map that thing. Is the developer here, Jim, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, yeah.
The developer's not here, but I am Carl Knussel on 101 North D. I represent Mr. Bain. The recitation was somewhat accurate. He had sold the property in a contract deed, and his man, Kilwine, and his partner went into default. The partner ultimately died, and Mr. Kilwine was unable to continue to purchase, defaulted back to Mr. Bain. He had never been informed or asked to participate or authorize the payment. So the property has gone back to him. You know, restored the large street.
So he wasn't in partnership with the gentleman who or he was.
He was not in partnership. There was a partnership. It was Mr. Kilwine and a fellow out of Denver that name escapes me. They were purchasing on a contract from Mr. Bain's
Okay. And so they're the ones who requested annexation.
Correct. It was actually Mr. Kilwine on his own without a partner. Yeah, Mr. McMeekin, and he has since passed away.
We're closer to the zero. Yeah. Who would like to? So today is our best understanding that there is no infrastructure development, no power there, no water, no sewer, no telephone, nothing. Just a vacant piece of land.
There are houses that are independently owned that have been there for some time. There was that preceded the annexation, so there is power, but it's not required for the annexation. There's no water for private roads, and the roads are county roads. The bottom corner.
What is that? I understand that there's existing houses, so is that road, okay, so it does extend down there all the way to the right to the. So we originally annexed that whole section. Close to the river. Jim, the city water and sewer right now, where do those lines extend to? Is there anywhere close to that particular property? Okay. So the line comes directly from the sewer plant? Is there any clarification needed by the commission at all? Is there any urgency in this particular issue for you?
Not really, I mean, we have had it pending for some time. We started it, I think, in September, August or September.
So if the commission chose to table up for tonight to get further information on the city manager, or you want to do the administration, would be a problem to you?
I don't think it would be a problem.
So that's a motion by Reddington and second by Hoagland to table up for this evening to put it on to, if we can, what's that? Yeah, the first meeting in January. Would that be acceptable to you? You're in town, right? I haven't used this thing for many minutes, so. At least not yet.
I have bills.
This job may get me in trouble. The way I'm running it.
Well, Bruce has got you.
I know, Bruce is giving me. I'm going to get it. Okay.
All right, what is the
So-
date of the meeting then?
That would be, so first of all, let's finish the motion. We do have a motion and a second. And, so is there any other discussion?
Just six.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Passes, and we'll take up this item again on January 6th or the 5th? 6th, okay, January 6th.
If there's information that we can provide, we're happy to do
Okay, so we have one more action item for tonight. Action item B, discuss approve deny scheduling a workshop to discuss procedure for annexation of property. That's basically up to us. I think somewhere between the first and second meeting of the month of January, we should schedule this meeting. So, that was everyone keep looking at calendars real quick to see if there's a particular date that might be, I know. But, that's the point. Well, so we have the 6th is the first meeting, the 20th is the second meeting, so, is anyone open for January 8th?
I'm going to say Huntsville.
How about, Livingston? How about the 7th or the 14th? Now, how was it for you?
I got to be there on Wednesday, and then the 7th. Don't have any work on that calendar.
How was the 13th, which is the Tuesday after our first meeting? No? How about the 6th? So, John, did you say yes? That's 13th, okay. So that would be January 13th, like 6:30, give you a little, we'll say 6:30, is that okay for everyone? So we will schedule that meeting for annexation workshop. Number 6:30. Right.
evidence as well.
And policy. Exactly. Okay, perfect. City manager comments. Commissioner comments, Commissioner Freeman?
I want to wish, Tony, to step away. Tony. I do. And I hope to, I want to say, thanks for Dan Council, particularly Dan Council, and most for, and that's not actually the employer of the place to do that. Great for that, for and I would be happy to have somebody for that. We've got some super people, big community members. And everything.
Mr. Livingston? Mr. Whitman? I guess I have to echo it. Happy holidays, everyone. The day of the year, we're feeling good. Bruce, Alicia, thank you very much for your service to the community all these years. You've done a great job, and wish you the best of luck in your position. I'm sure you're going to have plenty to keep you busy.
Is this in Europe?
And, I'm sure our hope is also that you replace anyone who comes in to play your position. I'm sure you would, and good mention. And setting advice and passing.
Glad to hear As long as there's no conflict of interest.
As long as there's no conflicts of interest, yes, you can advise on how to move against the town. All right, is there any public comment tonight? Patricia? It wouldn't be complete without public comment from Patricia.
I'm going to make a resolution for the new year.
Well, I echo happy holidays because there were 2 or 3 down this week. And as we look forward to the new year, there's a couple things that we would like to take a serious look at. One would be in the overpass versus underpass situation, there's a categorical exclusion of the environmental impact study. I think it's recommended that we take a look at the exclusion. Because in a sense, the impact study that was done is, my understanding is just that area, not the impact on Fleischer Creek, not the impact on Broadmoor, and not the impact on North River. So it's wise, I think, to consider it as we look forward to the new year, looking into this. Number 2, I also have echoed this several times, will continue to do so. I think it'd be helpful for the public to understand the big choice that was made under the CIP, the capital improvement plan, in which the process we now have, we put in place in 2008, puts the department heads making all those decisions. And then the last 2 meetings, the public has input and the commission has input. There are more than one way to skin a cat in this particular case. I think it's very important that there be a relationship between commissioner public input and department heads input at the initial process, not at the end. Because when this has occurred, and we can look at the record since 2008, there's been much more emphasis on of course, the department heads would want, but the public's interest in overpasses, in downtown development, on possibility of a swimming pool, all those things are not considered until the last 2 meetings, and they're pretty well over by then. So it's worthy of consideration. I like very much the Center for Electric Government at MSU. They're very good advising commissioners. Um, so there's more than one way. Take a look at the VIP process, and I think it would be a lovely thing as the year comes on. For sure, at that event. And I do take this commission, I do think this is one of the best commissions that this city has ever had to do. So, thank you for your service. It's appreciated.
Most of us just can't say much. You say that to every commission, but we like it.
I don't do it. I've never, I just think it all everything but that.
Okay, is there any other public comment? Is there any public comment? Warren, you sure you don't want to say anything tonight? You're welcome to. This is the time to speak out. Any further public comment? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. So moved. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned at 7:45.
Notice I sat behind you. Making me nervous, guys. No, I don't want to. I'm kidding. Bruce, I got to see my granddaughter. Oh, well. Did damage.